Hey guys, back again. So let's just continue, and we already have the application. I was checking my repos for something, and we have the view. So actually, let me just move this out of the way and say HTTP localhost 8080. Go back. We have the application here. Okay, let me just move this up. And okay, so this all should be actually ready to integrate the routing. So this is, well, I am here inside router.vue.js. You just look for Vue.js router and you will get this. Let's just go back here. Okay, Vue-Router introduction. Okay, when I click that, should I have clicked installation maybe? Okay, it's taking, what the hell? Okay, so let's say npm install Vue-Router, copy that and just paste it. Hit enter. So all this should start installing. Okay, seems it's working. Now we already have Firebase. The service is complete. Well, service config kinda class, however you want to call that. Okay, that is done. And let's say npm run serve to run again the server. So we will need to create a new folder. So let's just move and work with this again, my videos. And I'm not worrying too much about all this, to be honest. I mean about all the folders that I have open. So at this specific time, 2:20 a.m., most of the times you don't give a about anything, you know. So let's just continue and let's just actually inside components add a few components. Let's say add post that view. Remember that view has its own extension. We're going to change this one in a second, and we're going to say post that view. And I was checking what I told you about the file upload process, and we will need to do some changes there. Sorry, I'm not going to start RxJS with this. I'm just going to go with the way I did it with React and create a separate video about that. Okay, so yeah, let's just say so this one you can see it actually has a lot of things. So let's just call it rename. Let's just call it main.view. Okay, and this is going to be our main file. So we will need to create a new folder. So let's just hit this source and say router. Yep, the new folder is called router. Let's add a new file, which is going to be in this case index.js. Is a JS file. Okay, sorry, there's a dog there barking. And we have our app view, which is going to change. We don't have this hello world. Okay, so it's going to break, but we're going to change that in a second. Let's go for the index and index.js inside our router. So for this we will need to say import Vue-Router, just like that, from Vue-Router. From this we will need to add the components. Let's make this bigger for good measure. Import main, the name of the component, from add components. This is how we get the folder components. Okay, and main, and import add post from again components add post. So that is the name of the file. And import again from post, import post from components post. So the add is going to tell Vue that from our folder we just look for the components and the specific file we want. So we say export default new Vue-Router. So it actually gives us that, and you can see we have some options. So let's say routes. We set it as an array like React and Angular, and here we pass, I don't know why I set all this spacing. Okay. So we define a path. You can see it shows that, and we're just going to set the default or the most simple things. Component. Okay, and this is just the same for the rest. Let's just grab that, add a comma, paste it, a new comma, and paste again that. So here we define the path, which is going to be add post, just like that, and this is going to be add post, and the component is going to be add post, and this one is going to be post with the ID. So we pass the parameter that we expect, just like that, with that column, and the name of the parameter in this case is ID, and we pass the post. Okay, so we have that, and I assume, okay, no, we don't need to export that. Okay, so this is a project I have been lying there for like again some 4 or 5 months, I think, and so it actually didn't have the time to finish it, but since it were or is just some few things that are missing, I just decided to record this just before it's too late, kinda, you know. So okay, let's go to app view. So all this should actually, yeah, you can see fail compile with 1 error, source component hello world view doesn't exist. So should we, yeah, let's just remove all this crap. Yeah, why not? So just like Angular, we set a template in case we want to render something, but this is a template that is going to cover everything, not just a simple part or a single part of the view or the HTML. It's just going to cover everything. This is our root element inside Vue.js. So we're going to say div. So this ID should have the ID of app, because this is the what we're going to use in order to render everything else. So I just deleted all that just for free, to be honest, just so we can set all this class container by hand. So this is the main file that we saw once we install and run the npm run serve. The first screen, it was just this file, adding the hello world, which we don't have. Okay, you can see it's gone, and I'm just going to copy all this. Not everything. Well, actually I do need this, but I mean not everything. What the hell is going on? Okay, sorry, I just deleted something from my other code and I was like, what the hell? So this is a navigation, and you can see we have, well, we have this router link, which when it's rendered is going to be an anchor. Okay, and we define the router link to the specific location part of the application that we want to render. So this link is going to go to the route, which is the main screen. Okay, and of course we need to close that. Inside another UL we have this list, which is going to say be if. So this is the if statement, conditionally renders the element, you can see, based on the truthiness of the expression value. So if we have the, or if we, well, this is kind of the what we're going to look for. If this is not then we're going to render the link. Okay, something like we usually do with React and Angular, that if we are on a certain point, meaning the add post page, then we don't want to show the link of the add post. Okay, this is something that I usually do because I don't like to have those links showing. And something similar to Angular, we have this router view, and you will still hear me say a lot of things that are similar to Angular and React inside Vue, but it's just the way it is. Okay, so some things are similar, and that's it. They took or they use similar structuring in order to create this library. So this is just the reality. We shouldn't feel bad in case you are a kind of Vue fanboy or something like that. So this is just the way it is, just like other projects, other APIs or other software uses similar techniques, okay, that are found on other projects. That, you know, this is just the way it is. So right now, after this, we will need to create this that I actually don't like to create a script, but we will create the script here, okay? And this script is going to allow us to import any component that we want or anything else, okay? So again, the router view, I didn't explain that. The router view is going to allow us to move from route to route, okay? So that's the only thing that it's going to do. But we will need the app router, the Vue-Router, sorry, installed in order to use this component or this special component. So inside this script, you're going to say export default. This is something that I still don't like about Vue, but I'm getting used to this. So we define the name of the app. Okay, so this one is going to be called app. This is how we're going to select this one. Okay, so data, this is a function that is going to allow us to return something. So it's going to be the add post that we talked before. Okay, false. So it's going to be false by default. Sorry, this is an object, so it doesn't need the semicolon there. Then we're going to say right away the watch. So the watch is going to allow us to watch the routes. So we're going to say a route. So we call the routes with this special syntax with the $sign and the route, and we're going to say handler. So we're going to define a function for this. This is going to be, as I said, a function which is going to get these two. We don't need anything else. And actually, well, yeah, we need it too. So we're going to say if to path, so to where we are heading, is equal to add post, but we need to add this here, okay, to match the route. So if the path we are heading is add post, then this add post equals to true, okay, and else this that add post equals to false. So if we are heading to add post, then we're going to hide, sorry, this link, and if we are moving to another, then we're going to show this link. This is just what we are doing here. Inside this handler, we're watching the routes in this function. Okay, and we need, let me just set immediate true. Okay, let's just set that there. Can't remember what this do, but we can just test it later, or once I check it I will just let you know. Sorry, I haven't checked this one in a while, even I have been working with Vue. I haven't checked this one. I haven't required to do this, so yeah, usually most of the times you show all the links in a certain type of applications. So okay, so this is the app view, and we will need to move to main.js and to change this structure. This is the main configuration of Vue. So let's import here the router. You can see this is kind of a little off if you are coming from a React or Angular. So this threw me off a little bit how everything is structured, but I cannot say that I like it, but you get used to. So we import the router there, and we need to import router from, okay, should have been called routes, but this is the name of the file, so what the hell. Router. Okay, so you can see that it shows the file, so we don't need the extensions. And view config product tip, so this is it, and here we will add a view that use, and we use the Vue-Router. Okay, so this will allow us to actually use the router that we installed, and we will need to add, so let's say add a global styles, and we will go back there later. So we have this new view which is going to render on the element which is the app. So you can see it says it's going to mount on the ID app. Okay, and we can just go here and say router and add a comma, and that should allow us to use the router. So you can see it renders. Let's just make this. Seems I forgot to remove a few things. New post, add post, go back, Firebase. Okay, so let me just see what I forgot. Inside add post, view. Okay, actually I forgot to remove everything from here. So you can see it's showing the links and all that. So let's just do this. Remove all this. Remove everything. Let's remove everything. Just like that. And let me just get there. Say template. Let me just type it. And let's say a div and a div. Close that div. And we're just going to copy all this. It's going to say, this one is at post works. So we're going to define everything right now, right here. So let me just go to main. Okay, so that should be set, and we just need to define all this. So we need to say a script, and we're going to copy then this to the rest. So we have the templates already showing something, at least. Export. So every time we need to do something, we just need to say export, or that we need to set the name of the template, okay, or add a method. We need to add this export default and add it, okay, inside this object. So everything goes inside this object, and everything that we need to import goes right here, okay, in these lines or above that export, and we use everything inside the export. Okay, if that makes sense, but we will continue in a bit. So let's just say main. Let's just even remove the space in there. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Let's just wait. Let's just do this. It's compiling. Sometimes it kind of bugs there and it doesn't want to compile. Let's just wait for this. So this should be the last video for today. This is starting to rain. That's actually bad. Okay. Okay. So I didn't save this one. Okay. That is what is going on. So sorry. This one is at post view, and we need to do all this templating in every single one, every single component that we create. So let me just copy this and define the post view and say post, and this is how we're going to define those, how we're going to call them. Okay, so when we import them somewhere else, we need to say those names. Okay, so let me just do this. Is just to this should compile again, but let's just do that the hard way. And you can see main works. Let's just wait for this to be done. So don't tell me it's going to be stuck here. But again, let me explain this a little bit. Okay, so this export default is what is going to have inside all our methods. Okay, the computed methods, the specific methods, the watch, is going to be inside all that. So just like we did here. Okay, the data that we're going to use, that we need to set it inside this return in order to use it. So it is kind of odd the way it is structured, to be honest, at least for me, coming from working mainly with Angular. So this data needs to be set, okay, if we want to use the how can I call this, properties. Okay, so it kinda will work as some state, which you will see later in the composition API. This one is kind of work in kind of the same way as the state. So we're going to define, as we're doing here, set them, and this is going to change the value that we have in this return, which we are going to be able to use it inside the template. Okay, so that is actually it. Okay, what the hell is going on with this? Okay, it's kinda, I shouldn't be doing that. Okay, kinda booked there, but I think because it was refreshing, right? It kinda got stuck there. So you can see we have this, and when we go to add post, you can see that the link is removed, and if we go to view Firebase, which is the main route, then you can see we have this. So again, it goes away and it goes back. So that is the main reason why I added the watch inside here, which is checking the route, and the change, as I think is going to be immediate, is going to run the checking immediate. So that should be done. So let's actually do this. Let's actually comment this out and see. Console.log, and just finish with this, you know. Let me just check my code because I don't want to miss anything. 2. Let's say that. Let's open the console. Okay, so all this should be done. You can see we have the name at post. So this is the path that we are looking. Okay, where is it? Okay, at post. So we are checking if that is set. If that is correct, you can see also the full path. In case we have parameters or anything, so we will check a little bit about the routing later. So yeah, but it's actually working. So I'm using a new version, so I just installed that with the CLI. So maybe I remember I needed to add the immediate, but let's just keep it there in case there's something odd. But I can't remember why. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I just forget. I have other things to do, and I don't like to. But what the hell is this? Is still compiling? Oh, this is maybe it's the terminal that is doing all this. So I might change the terminal for other thing later because it's kind of. Wait, should I use? I can't remember. So I will check that. So yeah, the immediate, I'm not sure what it's doing, but we can just, well, just give me a second. Vue.js router immediate. Data fetching, how to get a route, and then call. Is this what I'm looking? No. I remember I saw something about that. But it's going to work still, it seems, without the immediate. So I can remember what this is doing. But yeah. Okay, so you can see it's working. And that's, I think, all for this video. On the next one, what we're going to do is just start creating the first, or we're going to start with the create with the new post, which is this component. I'm still logging that out, right? Yeah, I'm so freaking stupid. Sorry, guys. I just, and I mean, I shouldn't be recording at this time. So yeah, yeah, that was it. Okay. So yeah, on the next video, we're going to continue with the add post. So we start adding information inside our database. Okay, so it's empty, and I'm not sure if I'm going to able to record it tomorrow or if we will need to wait a little bit in order to get the next parts. Okay, so sorry guys, this is going to be these 3 videos are going to be added into the channel this next Tuesday, and we will continue later. And if you're worried about what is going to happen with the Angular testing, I will try to record that next week, so so we can at least finish recording with, or I mean dealing with the post requests and the mockups, because we're using forms and files to be done with those. So yeah, I will try to record that next week. So again, thank you guys, and see you in the next one.